welcome back to Build Series. I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper, and today I'm talking to Miles Brown. The dancer and actor stars in the Golden Globe-nominated ABC series Blackish as Jack, the Johnsons' naive but lovable middle son. Please help me welcome Miles Brown.
Hey guys. Woo, that was fun. That was a dope clip.
That was a good clip.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
So you don't have any issues watching yourself on screen?
I wouldn't say I have issues. It's just like weird sometimes when I'm watching myself from a long time ago. Like if I were to watch like some of my old episodes or like some, episodes from like the pilot or, season 1 or anything like that, it'd be a little weird, watching that. But I mean, current, it's, it was pretty recent. So it's awesome seeing myself on the screen.
Yeah. Let's talk about that 6th season.
Yeah.
This was your first show.
Yes.
And the fact that you're getting to do it for 6 seasons.
Yeah.
What does that
It's crazy.
feel like?
It's weird because like I feel like it was just yesterday when we started the pilot and we started the whole Blackish show, and I've never really done anything before Blackish acting wise, and this was kind of like my first thing, and I was still kind of getting used to the whole acting thing and being behind the camera or being in front of the camera, and I wasn't really expecting Blackish to do as crazy as it really as big of an impact that it had. And I feel like when I went into the audition, I really just thought of it as just like one of those other auditions. Like when I was doing, acting, I wasn't really, I don't know if I would say I wasn't getting them, but it would be like, pick and choose which ones. And because I would come home from school and then we would just head straight to, because I didn't live in LA, so we would drive like an hour and a half just to go to an audition. And it'd be like every one of those days. And then it's just out of nowhere, they just really liked me. And here I am. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
I think I read during your audition, you auditioned with Marseille.
Yes.
Which is crazy because
it's super
then you
crazy.
ended up being cast with her as her twin.
Yeah. Well, it's a really crazy situation. I did 2 auditions. The first one was just by myself, and that was just with the person reading the other side of the script with me. And then the other audition was the callback. That was when they had me, or everybody else was going in with their twin, pretty much, that they matched up for them. And Anthony, Kenya, everybody was in the room, and it was crazy. Yeah, the funny part is I don't know if it's just me. Or me and Marseille, we're always twinning. Like we're always wearing the same colors when we go to set. And we both pulled up to the audition with syrup stains on our shirts. She had, I don't know, I think she had like McDonald's or something. I had like Jack in the Box, and we both spilled syrup on our shirts. So ever since then, the chemistry was just there, and they saw how much chemistry we had, and that was the first time we ever met. And they just pulled us into the audition room, and then everything just happened from there. So
And then magic.
yes, it's crazy. Everything, it just happened. I think I was the first person casted on the show, other than Anthony. He's the executive producer, but it was crazy because like there was so much stuff going on between the audition process that they just made them want to just offer it, and I was just super excited. And then I had to, the funny part is they had to do a test for Marseille to be there, but I already got the job, so they had me be in the audition room with them, reading the lines with Marseille. And like when she would leave the room, they'd be like, "So what do you think, Miles?" And I'm like, "Do you guys talk like this when I'm at the room?" Like I'm like, golly. But
You're like, I'm 8.
I know.
I don't know.
It was my first time, seeing what happens on the other side of the audition room. But it was fun, though. It was really awesome. I was new to everything. So now it's just really awesome getting to do this for the 6th time and hopefully more. So
One thing, I love this show. I'm a huge fan. I love how it continues to grow and to tackle important topics. And the characters all get to grow and change. So Jack from first season to now is like a whole new guy.
Oh, exactly.
He's entering the 8th grade, right?
Well, he's 13. I'm pretty sure he's about to turn 14.
Yeah.
I'm like a year behind him or in front of him. I'm about to turn 15. He's about to turn 14, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, he's in the 8th grade, and he's starting, like a new stage in his life. He's exploring, and he's wondering what his passion is. It's that time, and it's cool because like I'm 14, so I'm around his age, and a lot of the things we talk about in the show I can relate to. So it's like Jack and Diane are both trying to find out what their thing is. Diane's pretty much already found it. Jack is still kind of like wondering what he's passionate about, and as you see in the show, what he's passionate about is not really working out for him at the moment. But he's still figuring that thing out, and I feel like it's really relatable to a lot of young teenagers, 13, 14-year-old boys out there who can relate to this. So yeah.
Even with the older two, like Dre and Zoe, they've taken different
Yeah.
paths, and you can tell that each kid is going to kind of get to like choose their own
A little bit different.
authentic
Yeah,
path,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah.
You know, and especially, you know, Jack isn't always the smartest guy.
Yep, he is not the most academically there, but yeah, so he's not the most smart, but he can definitely like light up a room and all that stuff. So I mean, me and him are very similar, except the the school part and then the grades and everything. But I feel like me and him, we just have around the same personality. Like we love basketball, we love to dance, we love to just have so much energy, and yeah, I feel like that's why it's really awesome playing Jack. Like I see myself as Jack. And I feel like a lot of people do that too, so it's pretty awesome to play him.
That's cool to hear because we've watched him grow up, but we're also watching you grow up. I saw a
Yes.
tweet that you retweeted, and they're like, Jack's got a mustache.
Oh
And
yeah,
was like,
I mean,
oh yeah,
that's
he's like a teenager now.
that's I feel like very weird because in my opinion, I think I've had a mustache pretty much ever since I was born. Cause like no, seriously, like if you were to go look back at the pictures of me when I was born, you couldn't see the mustache, but you could just see like I had one of those faces where you could kind of tell it's about to come in. Yeah, exactly. And then season 1, I feel like I just had some light, peach fuzz or something, and then now it's just you can see it now. So I feel like that's what people are starting to be like, oh, you got a mustache, you got a mustache. But me and a lot of people on the set too that have worked with me since season 1, like everybody here, they've been like, oh yeah, he's been had a mustache. Yeah, we know. So
It's always been there. But what is that like growing up on TV? What is your relationship with that?
It's to be honest, it's weird. It's crazy. Like asking that question. It's really crazy knowing that I could say I'm growing up on TV. It doesn't even feel like it, to be honest, because like the storylines that we do on Blackish are like so relatable to what I'm doing that when we're acting, it doesn't even feel like I'm acting. Like it just feels like I'm just memorizing lines and then I'm kind of just repeating them back in like the way I would say it. And it just feels like a normal day, like to just hang out with my second family and just have a fun time. So for me to grow up on TV, it's I feel like I think the craziest part is just seeing myself, but everything else I've just lived like a normal life, So it's pretty crazy though. It is honestly awesome to see everything happen, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That family dynamic is one that definitely reads, I mean, to fans of the show.
Yeah.
What are your favorite moments on set? Or is there a day in particular or like an episode in particular that was just super fun for you guys to be a part of?
I would say for me was fun. For everybody, it was completely not fun. There was an episode where we all had like a big fun Monopoly game. And keep in mind, this is the episode. So we film one episode a week. And this episode was literally the week of the Emmys. And this is when like everybody was nominated to the show. Anthony, Tracy, I'm pretty sure. And everybody had to get ready. We're all trying to, find out what we're going to wear. This is a big deal, right? And next thing you know, we got to film this whole episode for a whole week of us sitting on our knees in the living room playing Monopoly. Now, it might not seem like a big deal, but when you guys are literally on your knees for the whole week trying to play Monopoly and do like the same scenes for a whole week, it's crazy. Because normally on the show, we're just walking, we're doing action. Literally, we were on our knees or however you're sitting. You were lucky if you were just sitting in a chair because you were in the same position the whole week, and it was very tiring for some people. I thought it was fun, because I've never played Monopoly, so it was kind of like a whole new thing for me. But yeah, everybody did not like that episode. But it was something that we're all gonna remember forever.
Did you guys actually play Monopoly?
Well,
Because it does last like a week if you play it right.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. We didn't actually play it, but there was some scenes that they had us like they set up a little like a situation in Monopoly, and then we could just play the rest out for a certain shot, and we could just pretty much improv that whole part. But I learned how to play Monopoly from the scene. Anthony knows how to do everything. He literally knows everything. So he was teaching us, and it was just fun. But Tracy, some of the other people I set, they were just like, ugh, I gotta get dressed for something. So yeah.
You guys also have a lot of really amazing co-stars. I think not co-stars, guest stars.
Oh, yes.
I think your show has like the best guest stars.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's one that's been particularly memorable for you?
Crazy guest star? I mean, for me personally, I'm trying to remember every co-star or guest star we've ever had. I mean, I would say for me, and then just like a crazy, like funny part. Like for me personally, we had Quavo. I mean, for me, that's just crazy. I don't know about everybody else, but like, you know, he's one of my favorite rappers. So for him, he wasn't even in my scene. I wasn't even acting with him. But for him to be on the show, that was pretty cool. Zendaya was able to be on our show. Who else?
You've had Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks, yes. Tyra Banks was on our show.
Sheeta Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Diggs.
Yeah, David. That was pretty cool. And some people were guest stars, but they were guest stars for like multiple episodes. Right. Like David. Who else? Raven Simone. She was on a few episodes. So a lot of these were here for like some time, and a lot of here were here for a few weeks. So that was really awesome to film with them.
Yeah. You mentioned David too, and that kind of takes me into the mixed-ish world that has come out of it. What are your views on mixed-ish? Because I've watched the first couple episodes.
I'm excited. I've watched the first episode and the second episode. I'm really excited to see the rest of the season, to be honest. Like, whenever I see a new show, and keep in mind, it's weird because, like, this is literally, like, my universe, but, like, it hasn't happened yet. So, like, I feel like it would be, if I were to be in the show, it would be really difficult to film. I mean, not saying if just Jack. I'm just saying, like, if I were one of the actors on the show, it would be really hard because, like, you have to follow up a certain description because the future's already set for you. Like, we already know Bo and Dre are going to have a family, but they don't know that yet in the show. So, like, I mean, it's pretty crazy in watching the show, and it's really interesting. I'm super excited to watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I really love the show, and I just think it's so cool, the ish world and how it just continues to expand.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like they call it like the ish universe. Like, that's pretty crazy if they're like being compared to like a Marvel or something like. But yeah, it's crazy knowing that we have like a whole, you know, world universe just from this like one show. So grownish, mixedish, blackish, like it's pretty crazy seeing that how everything's coming out from just one thing.
Super important for so many reasons, but representation above them all. I mean, that's just like for me growing up, I didn't have these shows necessarily, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can relate to so many of these characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the first time I actually saw you, I was a producer at the Katie Couric Talk Show, and you came as Baby Boogaloo.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Danced, and you were the cutest.
Oh my gosh. What?
I know. Flashback, right?
Wow.
And I remember us all being in the back and being like, who is this kid?
Oh my gosh. That just blew my mind. Wow. That is super crazy. I was like 6, 7.
You were like 6.
Oh my God. That is so crazy that you were there.
Yes. I was in the back watching on the monitor,
super cool.
trying to like do your little moves.
Like I was, and it's funny, guys, because like a lot of these times, like I'm not gonna say a long time ago, but when I was like 5 through like 8 years old, I was like on these like talk shows, but like it had nothing to do with acting. Like I wasn't on the show because it was because of me dancing. I was known as Baby Boogaloo, like that was my dance name and everything. That's crazy. That is super awesome. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun to do.
Like for you to look back at those videos, because you were on like several different dancing shows, talk shows. When you look back at those tapes, like can you connect to that little guy?
I don't know. It's like no, I don't even like I don't know how to like explain it, but for me to rewatch those and like one which it was like I wish I could go back on like the certain shows that I was on a long time ago, so they could be like, oh, you're that same kid, because that happened. I was on Ellen. When I was like 4 years old, and then I went back on the show like 3-4 years ago, and it was around the whole same time, but like years later, and she was like, oh, you're the same kid, and like that was pretty cool. And every single time I see myself, like when I was super young, I always kind of want to go back to where that was and like kind of like be like, oh, it's still me, I'm the same person. But it's really crazy watching it. I don't really say I cringe. I wouldn't say, you know how sometimes you see like videos and stuff of your old self and you're like, oh, that I did that or something. I don't think I would say that because like I was so young at the age where like I didn't really care what I was doing. Like when I'm older, I would say when I'm older but I'm still young, like Blackish season 1, that was when I was like, ooh, like. But yeah, I was like 4 to 7 years old, so I mean it was just fun at that point.
I obviously still see you dancing. Is that something that you like do class for, or do you just always kind of just do your own thing?
I mean, I always try to take classes when I have the the free time to take classes, especially like going with my friends and stuff. It's crazy because like the dance world has pretty much like evolved so much in the recent years. Literally, I started dancing. So I mean, yeah, we just kind of talked about that. But with when I was dancing when I was like 4 years old, the dance world was definitely not like how it is now. Like dance is a huge thing. Like it's a priority, you know. And I'm just glad it was that way because the dance community was was the people who gave me the confidence to do like entertainment, no matter what it was, like acting or dancing, whatever. And it's really awesome to see, like when I go back to these classes, like these studios are so crazy. Like they you know, they put so much into it, and all these, I see so many choreographers and people teaching, and so many people want to learn. Like it's really awesome to see that. Yeah.
I follow a lot of those teachers.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see those videos on Instagram and people just dancing in the studios, like Millennium and stuff. Yeah. So it's really crazy to see that.
I know music is really important to you, obviously through
Yes.
dancing, but I know you're working on an album
Yes.
too called
Yeah,
We the
yes.
Future.
We the Future, yes.
So when can we see this?
I don't
Hear
have
this.
I don't have a specific date yet. It's done though. It's completely done. I don't have a specific date yet, but I'm really excited for it. It's gonna be a pretty awesome. Well, I have the single We the Future, and then later we'll have the album. So the single is gonna be really awesome. We have Damian Lillard to be on the single, which is pretty crazy that he was on be able to be on that song. And then the rest of the album, I'm really excited for too. Yeah. So I feel like when it's gonna come out, people aren't really gonna I wouldn't say expect it, but they'll just be surprised that I'm even like, doing it and like not just joking about it, and it's something that, I really want to do. And I wouldn't say like taking it like serious career, like this is my whole, like I'm forgetting my past and this is all I'm doing type thing. I wouldn't say that. It's just like something that I want to start doing now. And it's like, I wouldn't just do it as a joke. So I feel like I'm really excited to see people's reactions and how, and like their first time listening to it. So I'm going to be excited for it to come out, but it'll be out soon though. I'm pretty sure it'll be out or either this year or early next year. So.
And you're rapping, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Who has sort of influenced you musically, or how would you describe your sound and style?
That's crazy because like when I've never really said how my sound like is, but
an exclusive here at Bill.
I know. But I feel like because my dad's an artist, so I've always grew up, because if you have a dad who's an artist, like, or any type of job, like, you've been growing up and watching them do their thing and being inspired by them. I feel like he's pretty much inspired me to do like what I want to do, and he's definitely helped and mentored me throughout making the album. It's hard. It's really hard. It's like, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's easy and hard at the same time. It's just long. You just patience. And I feel like he definitely helped me throughout that whole process. Him, who else really inspired me? I wouldn't say like the music inspired, but I just feel like just seeing how they're doing and seeing that they want to do an album and they're taking it serious and they want to pursue something like that. And I feel like that's what really inspired me to do it. And I don't know, I'm gonna have to get back at you about that sound thing. I don't know. I feel like it's not something like it's completely out of this world different, but I wouldn't say it's like somebody just like like if you hear it, you're not gonna be like, oh, this sounds like this person. So
like it sounds like Miles Brown.
Yeah. But it's not gonna. Hopefully, it doesn't sound bad. There's nobody gonna be like it's bad, but. Yeah, so that's how I can explain it for now until I come up with something.
That's cool. I even like the way you transitioned into that because I feel like so many artists right now are multifaceted. You have a lot of actors who are in music who are
right.
And I think that's sort of the beauty of being a creative person.
Right, exactly. Like yeah, and what you just said actually really dates back to like I've like whenever I would talk to like a kid or like somebody who's like say like they've watched a show or something, and then like let's just say I would ask them like what they want to be when they grow up or something. Most kids, they say one thing, like they say they want to be an astronaut, or like they say they want to be like a rapper or a basketball player or like an actress or a doctor or something. And I'm like, you could be that, but you could be that and you could be like 20 other things too. Like you don't have to just be one thing. Now that if you just want to do that one thing, that's perfect. But you can do multiple things at the same time. So I feel like for me, it's more like not wanting to do other things. It's more just like I just want to I don't say I want to do everything, but it's like I I want to not just do one thing. Like I want to act, I want to, you know, dance. That's why I started in. I want to dance, I want to act, play basketball. I want to, you know, I want to do music. I want to, you know, do whatever I can. That is I guess how I could explain it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you also have to look at the timing and the platform you have with
Yeah,
Blackish.
yeah.
And also, Blackish incorporates a lot of that stuff with music
Yeah,
and
exactly,
performing. So it
exactly.
seems like a natural thing to like, oh, that musical episode was fun. Let's continue
Yeah.
this outside of here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Blackish has definitely like done a lot of crazy stuff with when in terms of music wise. One thing that I was dang, I just remember this. One thing that was pretty crazy is we did the Juneteenth episode, and we had like after we were done filming, we all the whole cast went to the studio, and like we all like did because it was like a play. It was pretty much like a whole production thing, and we recorded these songs in the studio. It was crazy because it was a bunch of actors just in the studio, and like it all came out like a real song. And then Apple changed their calendar and they put Juneteenth on the calendar. So I feel like that was really dope to see that, and how the music just changed the whole episode.
Absolutely. And how this show continues to impact culture.
Right, exactly.
It's across the board.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like I don't personally see it like that, but because you know I've been there since the jump. But for a lot of people, it's like crazy that they it impacts a lot of people.
Before we go, we do have some questions, Miles. Who
Yes.
has the first one right here?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hello, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. My name is Khalik.
Oh, nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Nice meeting you.
and
Nice name.
I believe whatever you put your mind to, you could do it.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
like for real, you know, you look like a smart young boy. You know
Thank
what I'm saying?
you. Thank
But
you.
my question is because I want to learn from. I want to learn
Oh,
from
okay.
the question that I'm getting ready to ask.
Okay.
How difficult? Because you kind of touched on my first question, so
Okay.
I'm gonna ask a brand new question. So how difficult was it to go from doing Blackish,
Mm-hmm.
Boy Genius, and Goldie and Bear? Because I know Goldie and Bear was like a voiceover. So I want
Okay.
to know how difficult
That's
was
so
it?
crazy that he knows all that stuff. I feel like it was like since they're all kind of three different styles, like one's television, one's animation, one's a movie. I feel like because obviously throughout my career, Black has just been like my I wouldn't say my priority over things, but like that's just like my main thing. So whenever I would be in the middle of doing it, like I'm filming Blackish, I started in August and then I ended March, and then we just go from March and then we just have a break until August again. I feel like most of the things that I do, and it's crazy, it's just like that season time around where everyone's working is always when Blackish is happening. So for animation, it wasn't that hard to do because after Blackish, I could just go to do animation. But the part is, I'm a minor, so I can't work for a certain amount, no matter if it's just Blackish. Like I'm still working for this amount of time if I go to Blackish to something else. Like that still counts for one day. So I can't work for a certain amount of time. So it'll be tough to do. Golden Bear wasn't that hard because like it was a little faster. It took less time to do. But and then Boy Genius, that wasn't that hard as well because that was during our break for Blackish. So that was definitely a lot because it would have been too hard to film Boy Genius while doing Blackish. But I'm glad that they were able to go around my schedule and see when I was available to do it, which was like we started. And the movie only took about like a month and a half or something to film. So we had some good downtime. I started like right as soon as Blackish ended. And then I went to like July, June, so around that time. So it was really awesome to do, and it didn't stress me out that much, but it was just awesome to see like how it can go from doing one thing to the next. So if that answers your question, so yeah, thank you.
Speaking of animation and film, I've seen more than a few memes online about you playing Miles Morales.
Oh yes,
Spider-Man.
Yes.
So how do we make that happen? Or is that a role that you would be interested in? Because it seems like really good casting.
To be honest, I started the meme.
Okay.
I started the meme. I'm not gonna lie, I started the meme. Now look, everybody, look, hold on. Before we even start this, can you guys see me as Miles Morales?
Yes.
Exactly. So I feel like, okay, I've been a Marvel diehard fan. Like when I say diehard, I mean like normally you don't see people like on a TV show or people like in a movie or whatever be like a diehard fan of something. Like that's like my thing. Like I swear, like I'm up mad late watching YouTube videos about what they think is gonna happen in Avengers Endgame or something like that. But I'm a Marvel diehard fan when it comes to every movie that comes out. And Spider-Man's been like one of my favorite characters. Iron Man's been my favorite Marvel character of all time. But I've known Miles Morales was a thing. Now, I've read comics, and I've read a lot of comics when it comes to Spider-Man. And I've known Miles Morales was a thing before before it was even in the cinematic universe, before anything, before Spider-Man Homecoming, before Tom Holland was even Spider-Man. So if you go back to 2014, 2015, that was like season 2 of Blackish, you'll see me posting like, oh, Miles Morales, I want to be, but people didn't know what Miles Morales, the people who weren't, paying attention to the details, they didn't know what that was. But now that it's like a big thing, I see so many kids out there trying to be Miles Morales, and it's just like crazy, these kids, a lot, and don't get me wrong, some of these kids have been wanting to be Miles Morales for a while. It's just they didn't have the chance to be it. But I feel like I've met everybody that pretty much is like an executive or producer for Marvel. And they already know. Like, they've seen Instagram, they've seen everything, so it's really up to them at this point. I've already talked to it about, with Tom, and I mean, I've talked to it, I even saw Donald Glover at the Black Panther premiere, and this was right right before Homecoming came out, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, yo, I know because it was already out that he was going to be, the uncle. And I was like, I really wanted to be Miles Morales. I just wanted to tell you, I don't know if you could do anything. I'm just like, I just wanted to tell you, now that you're right here. And then he, right after that, he went on an interview. And he started, explaining to the interview that I wanted to be Miles Morales. And he was completely on board with it. And I thought it was really dope. And everybody pretty much that works for Marvel knows that I want to be. So it's really up to them at this point.
So you're saying it's just a matter of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's going to happen at any time, it's going to happen soon. Because I know this Marvel deal with Sony and Spider-Man, this is going to be like a very I wouldn't say one-time thing, but they didn't do a deal for that long. So I know if something's going to happen, it's going to happen pretty soon. So we'll see. We'll see, y'all. We'll see.
I think right there, that was just like the perfect. If somebody doesn't cast you, there.
Exactly. Now look, I didn't even go over. My name is Miles. I'm black and I'm Latino, right? I don't know if you guys probably knew that Miles Morales was Latino, but I'm literally do I not look like him? Do I not? It's not even. I wouldn't even say if it's about looking like him. I don't even think that they're going for somebody who looks like him.
You embody him.
It's
you
just
know
like
the story.
Exactly. I know him more than everybody who's trying to go for him knows about him.
All right, guys. So everybody use the hashtag Miles for Miles, and we're gonna make.
Yes, it's Miles for Miles, y'all. Y'all gotta tag me on Instagram. Y'all gotta put that on there.
Miles for Miles. And one more question.
Hi.
Hello.
Kind of on a similar note, I was just wondering, with so much time ahead of you and such a career ahead of you, who you would like to collaborate with, whether it's musically or actors or directors or anything.
Dancers.
Right. I'll answer your question, but for everything. So I'll feel like but it's tough for music. I'm not even sure about that yet. I feel like for acting, I've always wanted to work with, I always want to work with Robert Downey Jr. Not just because he's Iron Man, just because he's one of my favorite actors and he's just an icon to me. I feel like ever since he's just had such an impact on the culture for superhero movies forever. So I feel like I've definitely always wanted to work with him. I've always wanted to work with Jordan Peele. He's really good, director, actor, everything. Who else would I've always wanted to work with? I've always wanted to work with probably Denzel. Who else? I feel like I want to work with a lot of people who do multiple things, like Donald Glover. He does acting, music, everything. So I feel like he's one of those people that I can see working with, but in not just one thing, And I feel like for music, that's a tough question. I don't even know how to answer for music because I feel like at the moment, I'm not even thinking about who I want to work with. I feel like music and acting is different. I feel like acting, you can always pitch out to other people, trying to always work on something. Where music, I feel like it's like a process of doing different step by step. And once I get later into I don't even want to say my music career, but just like me doing music more and more and more, I'll think about that. But for acting, I feel like a lot of those people, and I know I'm not, I know I can't think of somebody, and like 30 minutes later, I'll probably find you again. I'll be like, yo, I just remembered this person. So yeah, hopefully if that answers your question, but a few people that I want to work with. So yeah, thank you.
When you remember, make sure to use the hashtag Miles for Miles.
Yes.
Because we'll all be following
Should it be the 4 or should it be FOR?
I think 4, FOR.
FOR?
Because he's, yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that.
Or 4, I don't know, now 4 seems better because,
Because, 4 might be a little more, might be a little more fun, like.
Okay, let's go with,
You're
younger. Let's go with what you would do.
All right. Miles. All right. That's what we're doing.
Well, Miles, I've been a big fan of yours for a long time.
Thank you.
I love all the work you're doing, and it's been just really good to like chat with you and get to know more about you. I wish you just continued success and everything
you so
you have
much.
going on.
This was awesome.
Yeah,
really.
thank you for being here. And if you guys want to check him out on Blackish, you can do that on Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
Did you guys like the clip?
On ABC. Put your hands together for Miles Brown.
You.